Hello and welcome to Why? Wednesdays. With Spin Heart Spin, Kara Purple, it's me. Today's topic of question is you often hear, don't cut your fibers. Don't do it. It's bad. There's not really any real explanation, and I haven't been able to find any kind of conversation about it other than most people just say, don't do it. And then there's like, well, why not? Oh, well, you shouldn't do it. It's just something that's not done. But there are times where I will cut my fibers. And these are the reasons why. Let's start with right from scratch. So sometimes you get a nice fleece. And sometimes the ends are cauted. These ends are not cauted. And cauted means like tangled to the point where you can't pull them apart. You can't like pull them apart. The ends are too tangled. These ones are not tangled. This is a very nice fleece. It's easily pulled apart. That's what you kind of want when you're looking for a fleece. Sometimes the ends can get a little bit cauted in the dye bath. Just because they're a little bit more tender, like these ones here. It's kind of hard to tell, but this right here is kind of a big mat. So I can pull them apart, but it takes a little bit more effort. I think you can kind of see this one's not too bad. The tangle is kind of like just right in this little pocket. Some of them are way worse than others. I couldn't find one that was really bad in my stash right now, so that's kind of a nice thing. But if you can't pull these apart, or like the ends don't come without a lot of problems, let's just pretend that this one's super cauted and I can't get it. Usually it's only like maybe half an inch to a quarter of an inch that's cauted that you can't get past. Typically a lot of people will say grab your flick carder and flick them. And this fleece might be nice to do that. However, I kind of think this is akin to, see, that didn't even get out all of the stuff. It's tangled in there. Like if you have a knot in your hair, my daughter's got the worst hair, gets all tangled and gets knotty. And I'm brushing through it and strands are breaking. And sometimes that puts too much stress on a fiber. So there is nothing wrong with grabbing your trusty sharp scissors and cutting off that little bit of a quarter of an inch. That tiny bit's not going to make a difference, not a huge difference. I mean, this end's already been cut with the shears, so why not cut this if it's all cauted? And it's going to be more effort for you to go ahead and flick it all out, possibly causing more damage if you are not gentle enough. If you're gentle enough, then it won't, but it takes a lot of effort to get past that. Sometimes two tips. None of my fleeces were tippy, but sometimes you can get tips. Usually when you get weak tips, a flick just gets them out and that's fine. But if they're like really weak or something that's a bit further down, you could cut them. But a flick works for those. Another reason why you would cut your fibers is to blend. Blending on either hand cards or combs is a possibility. This is one instance where I didn't cut my fibers and I used my hackle to blend. You're probably not going to be able to see this because of the like great lighting going on, but this is 75% silk, 25% camel. Now I argue that it's probably no longer 25% camel because when I weighed it out, that's what it was, the blend was. But after I blended, that's what I got off my hackles, the waist. But you can see that there's quite a bit of camel left in there. So the staple of the silk is consistent in here, and the staple of the camel is also consistent. It makes a nice yarn that's hiding in my workbook. This was for level 4 of the Master Spinner program. And I was trying to challenge the concept of cutting, because they do actually recommend cutting your silk when you do your blending for that experience. So we've got all of the shorter silks and the stuff in the waist. So this can be carded into ponies or roll eggs. But the main reason why you would want to cut your silk is if we take this silk and we have a look at how long that is. That is a solid 3.5, 4 inches. This silk is kind of somewhere in there. And then you have a look at your camel. And this is your camel, like the length of your camel is like this tiny little poof. So blending these two fibers together with oh, there you go, there you can see, but now you can't see how long it is. Blending these two together just on hand cards, just like this. These fibers are a little bit long for hand cards, and your blending consistency is not going to be fantastic. So going ahead and even just cutting it in half to give a 2-inch staple instead of the 4 to 5 inch, 3 to 5 inch staple on there. By blending something like that together, if you can see that. See? That would make a more consistent blend too. So there is another good reason to cut your fiber. Card those into ponies, and the ponies will spin a heck of a lot nicer, because when you do spin your yarn with a long and a short, the tendency is for those long fibers to come first and then those short ones to come after. So you'll end up with a bunch of the shorter fibers in your hand, and the longer ones will be in the yarn, and then you'll get like a section of shorter fibers, and then you'll join your next pony or your next roll egg, and then the next thing you know, you've got another section of silk and another section of camel or cashmere or bison or whatever the shorter one is. Cotton, you can blend cotton with it too. So in that case, that is kind of what you're looking at. I have these really lovely 90-20 cotton nylon ponies. So cotton, look at how cute it is. You can't really see because the light is so bright. It's not even bright outside. It's all natural lighting. Sun. There we go. But they make a really nice fabric. But the cashmere was cut. I cut the cashmere to be a lot closer to the cotton staple, because cotton is very short as well. If I can get the cashmere open. So the cashmere has a longer staple too, 2.5, 3 inches as well. And the cotton is always a lot shorter. So it looks like a long piece. Oh, but it's not. So by cutting the nylon in half, as compared to the cotton, you get a really nice pony. It's evenly blended. Everything pulls kind of at the same consistency and the same rate. And you get a really nice yarn out of this, and a nice fabric. And the yarn is consistent. Teeny tiny swatch. Yeah, and you get that nice blend of the stretch of the nylon and the absorbency and stuff of the cotton too. Okay, so those are some reasons why you would cut your fibers. I can't think of any reason why you shouldn't cut your fibers. So I guess it's more like an opinion piece today. However, if you have a really great reason for me, like a rebuttal, please let me know. Please tell me what you were told, why not to cut your fibers. I think if you get your meat, if it is a nice means to the end you need, then just do it. So that is the main reasons why we would cut our fibers and say to heck with the no, don't cut your fibers. Thanks for watching.